Den la bienvenida al excelentísimo alcalde de Sevilla, el señor Juan Espadas.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Buenos días a todas y a todos. Bienvenidos a Sevilla. Querido presidente del Gobierno de España,
Dear President of the Government of Spain, President of the Government of the Regional Government of Andalusia, Ms. President of the WTTC, CEO Hilton President, dear world leaders of the tourism sector, friends, dear friends, that today you have decided to share with us this big global summit of tourism in Seville. Thank you for your trust. Thanks to the organization of the WTTC for organizing the best World Congress that has ever been organized in this 19th session that this organization has put in place. My satisfaction is even bigger because as mayor of Seville, it's my responsibility to convey that this city, that 500 years ago, as you have already seen, was the capital, the global capital of the economy, and today it's the capital of Andalusia, the heart of its metropolitan area and of the province, and it is also the tourism, a world tourism capital city that states its status as a city of reference to attain sustainability, growth, and generation of wealth, and also to distribute the benefits to the society so that we can all move forward without no one left behind. We have the opportunity of achieving this. Today, the planet is capable of generating wealth, but it is not so capable of distributing it equally. Our biggest challenge for the cities is to achieve the 17 Sustainable Development Goals for the planet, so the ones that I'm wearing on my vest. They must be our roadmap. Tourism, sustainability, it's a factor in a sector that is capable of achieving the generation of wealth and employment, but we must do it very well. We must plan very carefully, and we must do so in partnership with the private sector, with you, with the administrations, the governments, who must plan and manage growth in our cities, in our villages, in a sensitive, cohesive way, together with the private sector. That's the key in the years coming, so we can be the change makers, those change makers whose main goal is to define this well and do it all together. That's why I welcome you to Seville, a city that in these moments of celebration of this 500th anniversary of the circumnavigation that departed from Seville and stopped in Sanlúcar de Barrameda to get provisions. For us, this is a great opportunity to build bridges and open opportunities throughout the world. Yesterday, with the Minister of Tourism from Argentina and the Minister of Tourism from Chile, we said, why not? If 500 years ago we were capable of crossing the ocean to explore new territories, why wouldn't we be capable of crossing again to another territory and connecting Seville with other places of the world, with also with Latin America, to bring back that spirit of our city? Yes, dear friends, you are going to speak today about investments. 3 billion. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. CEO of Hilton. Thank you for orientating the volume of investment, the initiatives that from the private sector are going to be put in place, because this is not easy to stimulate, to develop at the same time the ability to manage these investments and to make them as productive as possible for our society. I'm convinced that Seville, on top of being the host of this event, you will find reasons here to invest. To do it in Andalusia and to do it in Spain, undoubtedly, to turn it into a global leader in tourism, and I hope you will be inspired. And most of all, I hope that you will accept Seville as an engaged society with global leadership of a sector that is fueling the generation of wealth, but it's also fueling the generation of peace and conviviality. You are in a city where the three cultures of the Mediterranean were born. You are in a city that is a friend. You're in a city that works for peace. Good morning, congratulations, and thank you everyone for being here today.
Would you please welcome the President of Andalusia, the Honourable Juan Manuel Moreno.
Por favor, den la bienvenida al presidente de la Junta de Andalucía, el señor Juan Manuel Moreno.
Prime Minister of Spain, welcome to Seville. Mayor of the city of Seville, President, CEO of Hilton, and President of the WTTC. Thank you very much for your effort and commitment. General Secretary of the World Tourism Organization, who is also here today, authorities, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to address you as the President of the region of Andalusia and welcome you to our region. I am convinced, and I trust you also feel this way after the end of this summit, which is that you are right. You are right when choosing Seville as the host of the 19th summit for the WTTC. There is no more perfect moment than this one, nor better place than Andalusia to focus on global changes in world tourism. Change makers have in Seville and all over Andalusia a great inspiration. As the mayor said before, 5 centuries ago, Andalusia and Spain were the leaders of globalization. Change makers departed from Andalusia and they transformed the world twice, leading the discovery of America and traveling around the world. Andalusia is essentially the best face of universality, of the integration of different civilizations. We are the result of our history and of our heritage. We are one of the most appealing regions in the world. Andalusia is unique. You are going to find more than 1,000 kilometers of beaches from the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Oceans. You are going to find World Heritage monuments. You are going to find cooks with Michelin stars and more than 100 protected spaces, which are bigger than some countries in the European Union, such as Malta or Slovenia or Luxembourg. We are able to, we can focus, we can face changes in a very natural way, and we are leaders for these changes. Tourism growth is a challenge and a great opportunity for economic development and social evolution. Investment in touristic infrastructures is essential, as well as new technologies. And I want also to speak to the so important companies and public sector leaders who are here today, public and private stakeholders who are meeting in Seville today, so that in order to encourage you to invest in Andalusia, we want to put down barriers and to open doors for investments. We are eliminating all problems and reducing taxes. To allow you to do this, we are achieving a tax revolution in order to attract investment and create employment and progress. If you invest in Andalusia, you won't regret it. Tourism is the most dynamic driving force of Andalusia. We are among the main regions of the European Union receiving the highest number of tourists per year. We gather the conditions, the companies, and the professionals who are necessary for this. And we can do this in all the seasons of the year. And Andalusia is excellency, and we want to transform tourism based on sustainability, efficiency, and new technologies. Besides, we have a new government who believes in Andalusia and in its capacities, and in the great opportunity we have to be in the same pathway as change makers now. We are putting all the richness of Andalusia to the service of a new stability, of a new alliance with a competitive touristic industry. There is no more rich land than Andalusia. This is why I encourage you to carry out your projects here. The poet Antonio Machado said that the walkers are the addition of the paths they walk. And this is what we are in Andalusia. But we are also a group of walkers in a path. Finally, I want to say thank you to all of you who are here today in the south of Spain and in the south of Europe. Welcome and enjoy this gathering.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the stage Secretary General, United Nations World Tourism Organization, Zurab Pololikashvili.
Querido presidente, con su permiso voy a empezar por damas. Quiero felicitar a Gloria, todo es culpa tuya y puedes ser tranquila que es un gran éxito que has hecho.
It's been a great success what you have done these days in Seville. I want to congratulate you, Gloria, as well as your team. Thanks for this very important event and its organization. This is a very important event for the world. Today, everybody is with us. I want to thank you for your great organization. I'm going to give a bit long presentation. I want to mention people who are here, who are doing a lot for tourism. Dear Minister, it's a pleasure to have you here among us. Spain is still a great example for the whole world. Thank you very much for your collaboration. Also, the Secretary of State of Spain, who's here with us. I'm grateful. Also, I want to welcome all the ladies here today with us, and I want to thank the First Lady of Kenya.
You represent here today all African continent, not only Kenya, and it's a big honor and great pleasure to have you with us. We need more tourists in Africa, we need more connectivity in Africa, we need more business sector in Africa, and we need more private and public sector be more active in Africa. There is a huge potential and there is a huge space to increase and to change the continent, because tourism is again one of the best recipes to create new jobs, and we need more jobs in Africa. And thank you again. Your leadership is crucial here, and thank you to be with us. Cuando hablamos de Andalucía, querido presidente de Andalucía, siempre es turismo.
It is always about tourism. It is the first thing that comes into our mind. Thank you very much for your leadership. I am grateful about your presence among us. Dear Prime Minister, I do not know anyone today who is as busy as you. I know your agenda, and I am really grateful about your presence here. You are showing your leadership. You are a great example as a tourism leader. 1 week ago, we inaugurated together, and we announced together this rural tourism initiative next year. And we are going to take advantage of Spain as a great example. And your leadership in tourism is a great example. I am very thankful. I want to wish you luck in the coming elections. Thank you for being with us. The mayor of the city of Seville, this is a great event in your city. Thank you also. It is, as you said, it is a 5-year tour. 500-year tour. Everybody's now in Seville, and it is really good that you have this moment with us. And I do not want to forget the dear President of Mexico, Calderón. Thank you for being here. You have changed Mexico, and you have put Mexico in the global map. It is a great honor to have you here with us.
Again, thank you very much, and I'm very glad that our organizations are working together and we are doing many interesting things. I think we are very close to each other, thanks to you and thanks to Gloria, and I'm sure that many things and many projects are, and we will do together. And thank you again to support us and to be with us always, because private sector is very important in tourism sector, and without supporting and without presence of private sector, it's impossible to develop tourism. And unfortunately, in many countries, private sector is much more advanced than public sector. But again, we are here, we are ready to work, and I think we are very close to each other. We've never been such close to each other, and I'm sure that many interesting things are in the future we will do together. Le pido perdonas para tanta...
Sorry for so many representations, because there are people, the presence of all of you is very important for tourism. This is a global day for us. We are celebrating and we are taking advantage of the WTTC to approach the public and the private sectors. I want to thank all the delegations coming from very far away, Argentina, China, Japan. I do not want to miss any names, but we are going to do a lot of things together, very important things, and I am sure that your presence is very important. These are the 2 most important days in the world for us, and we have to take advantage of these days to get new contacts, to find new investments. This is one of the best events in the world to invest, and you're going to make very important decisions. I have the alarm of the time going on now. I'm going to finish. we are very focused on innovation. This is our year for education, and next year, as I said before, with Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, the next year will be the year of rural tourism. These are the factors we are going to focus on. We need your support, and because the participation of the private sector is very important, and I hope that we can all together develop all the plans. Thank you very much again, and welcome to Seville.
Would you please welcome President and CEO, the World Travel and Tourism Council, Gloria Guevara.
Buenos dias, good morning. The video was very impressive. As we can see, so much change in such a little time frame. Welcome everyone. President, what an honor to have you here. President Sanchez, First Lady, President Calderon, dear WTTC members, Secretary General, President of Andalusia, Mayor, all dear excellencies, ministers, what a wonderful to have you here, WTTC friends. We're living in an era of rapid change, the pace of which I predict will only increase. Within the past decade alone, we have witnessed advancements that propel travel and tourism sector to new heights, fundamentally changing the way we live, the way we do business, the way we communicate with each other, and the way millions of people travel every day. Let me put it in context. Can you believe that Apple launched the first iPhone in 2007? That is just 12 years ago. Today, we can hardly imagine life without a smartphone, right? We can use to book a hotel, open a room, change your flights, board a plane, access maps, GPS, messaging, a camera. All of that lives in our pocket. This is innovation. This hasn't just changed one element of the travel experience. It has changed the entire experience. Technology, new business models, greater connectivity, and increased mobility have empowered the traveler, providing a sense of independence, thanks to the access in real time to a wealth of information, including reviews and recommendations, and that's why we made some travel consumptions and decisions. As such, the growth of travel has been unprecedented. Last year, we saw 1.4 billion international arrivals and 4.4 billion people flying around the world. Factoring in domestic tourism, there were around 7 billion trips last year alone. And this is just the beginning. As the travel and tourism sector continues to grow, new markets open up, and more people have the opportunity to travel, we need to make sure that we stay ahead of the curve. by considering what the future of travel looks like, who the consumers of tomorrow will be, and what they will expect. That's why we are here today, and why the theme of this year's Global Summit is Change Makers. Our WTTC members and leaders here are change makers. They are defining the future of our sector. Over the next 2 days, we will have the opportunity to be part of this experience while we discuss how WTTC and our stakeholders can work together to make this change tangible and realize the opportunities of the future. As Chris said, our sector continues to thrive. We're living in a golden age. Last month, we released our annual economic report. The numbers show the travel and tourism GDP outpaced the global economy for the 8th consecutive year. 8 years. Travel and tourism GDP growth 3.9% compared to 3.2%. Moreover, travel and tourism sector growth was the second highest worldwide, just ahead of construction, healthcare, financial services. We were 1 decimal only behind manufacturing. And our sector contributed to 8.8 trillion to the global economy. That's 10.4%. We continue to support 1 in 10 jobs on the planet, as Chris mentioned. But more important, in the area of automation, where a lot of jobs are being transformed, 1 in 5 new jobs in the last 5 years that have been created are in travel and tourism. And the future looks great. Over the next decade, our sector will generate 100 million jobs, meaning 1 in 4 new jobs will be in travel and tourism. Our sector is truly the best partner for governments to generate economic growth, create jobs, and reduce poverty. That's why the partnership with the public and the private sector is so important. But we cannot take this historical strong performance and positive forecast as a given. The reality is that the world is confronted by significant challenges, and that requires a coordinated global action, change-making behavior, and more collaboration. If we don't work together, the growth predictions, they could fail to materialize, impacting millions of jobs and progress towards the SDGs. So we need to ask ourselves, how are we going to transport 4 billion air passengers addition to what we transport last year in the next years? How are we preparing to minimize the impact of the next crisis as they are growing in frequency and severity? And how are we going to grow our sector sustainable so that everybody, including future travelers and future generations, can benefit from our success? The conversations over the next 2 days will center around these themes. You will see and hear about the future of border crossing, what you can expect, and how the travel experience will be totally transformed. You will also learn more about our social responsibility initiatives, which aim to eradicate illegal wildlife trade and human trafficking, as well as climate action and how we're building resilience to crisis and environmental changes. We will hear how to build a path forward based on tangible outcomes and collaboration, not just between the public and the private sector, but also with local communities, and ensure a bright future for all of us. There are a lot of opportunities out there to help us realize these goals. Biometrics, drone delivery, augmented reality, solar power transport, 3D printing, virtual assistants, self-driving cars, These are just some technologies on the horizon that, if we leverage their potential, will improve the way we travel, the way we communicate, the way we do business, and the way we live. In a few years, I see myself traveling without a physical passport. Instead, my biometrics or my face would allow me to board a plane, a train, a cruise ship, as well as to collect my rental car or check into my hotel. These days of 2 hours of long lines of immigrations will be a thing in the past. Not long from now, we will travel from the airport to our accommodation in a driverless car, with the drone dropping our luggage in advance. And when we get to our hotel, we will check the weather on a smart mirror, ask an AI-powered hologram to book a table for a dinner, and use a 3D printer to print my clothes, and perhaps a souvenir for my children to take home. Maybe will be the space. Cities will be smart, transport will be green, all payments will be mobile, and experiences will be personalized. Augmented reality will enhance tourist experiences at historical sites by transporting visitors back on time. And live language translation will mean that nothing will be lost again. We will understand each other much better. Advancements in connectivity like 5G will improve communications during a crisis to minimize the economic and human impact. Data will help us to manage flows of people, making overcrowding a flashback. And local communities will live from travel and tourism while helping us to protect natural and cultural assets. Water usage should be efficient, energy resources should be renewable, and food consumption should be responsible. People should not be bound to slavery, nor will they be trafficked against their will. Animals will not be slaughtered for their skin or horns. In this era of change and innovation, we all have a role to play, to stay ahead of the game, to stay ahead of the curve, and an imperative to improve ourselves with the question, how do we keep being these change makers? As individuals, we have the power to incite positive change, but more importantly, as one of the greatest sectors in the world, we have the responsibility to the millions of people who depend on us. We owe it to the people who work for us. We owe it to our shareholders. We owe it to the planet, to our communities, and to the traveler. That's why we are here, to learn about the opportunities of today, so that together we shape the future of travel and tourism. Thank you again for joining us in Seville. Here you will have a wonderful program that my team has put together for months and months. We would like to welcome you to this wonderful place, as you can see the venue, to the most important event of the year for our sector. Muchísimas gracias al excelentísimo señor Espadas y a todo ese equipo.
Thank you very much to Mr. Espadas and all his team. Thank you to the government of Spain, to the regional government of Andalusia. It is a pleasure to be here today with you. Thank you very much to the city of Seville and to the whole of Spain for this extraordinary hospitality. For me, it's a pleasure to enjoy here this day with all of you.
American Express, Hilton, City Sightseeing, Iberia, Melia, Amadeus, and several others. Without your support, this wouldn't be possible. Please join me in congratulating my friend Juan Espadas, the mayor of Seville, for hosting us and putting on a show to make the people of Spain proud. Now, a little taste of what the future may hold. I will ask Pepper, I don't know, have you ever met Pepper? I'm going to ask Pepper, my little friend, to join me. He was born in Japan. He has a big fan club, including my son, I have to confess. Tomorrow, you will learn more about the future of work. But for now, my little friend would like to welcome you all to Seville and share a little bit of what you are going to see tomorrow. Please, let's hear from Pepe. Thank you for joining us again.
Hello, everybody. I'm Pepper. Bienvenido a Sevilla. Bienvenue Sevilla. Willkommen bei Sevilla. Welcome to Sevilla. I'm part of Travel Innovation Hub, Agora Next, and Telefonica Open Future Global Leader in Tourism and Technology. Hey! Innovation, artificial intelligence, and sustainability will be part of digital transformation in the new, disruptive era. Thank you very much for attending WTTC Global Summit in Seville. I hope you enjoy the next 2 days. I will see you throughout the summit and especially tomorrow when we talk about the future of work. Congratulations WTTC and Agora Next for the impact in travel technology. See you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of Spain, the Honourable Pedro Sánchez.
Señoras y señores, por favor, den la bienvenida al presidente del Gobierno de España, el señor Pedro Sánchez.
Buenos días, amigos y amigas, señoras y señores.
Dear friends,
Presidente de la
ladies
Junta de
and
Andalucía,
gentlemen, President of the Regional Government of Andalusia, Secretary General of the World Tourism Organization, Miss Minister, delegates of the government, President of the WTTC, President of the Chairman of the WTTC and CEO of such an extraordinary company such as Hilton. Welcome to Seville, everyone. Welcome. Please allow me to thank, in the first place, to those 3 billion euros announced in investment by CEO of Hilton and the chairman of this organization. And undoubtedly, I want to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of his company. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing develops intelligence more as traveling. This is something that humanity has been able to prove throughout history, especially during the last decades. This way we get to know others better and we get to know ourselves better as well. And from that double exploration, inside and out, the best of the human being was born. It's empathy, it's willingness to learn, and its willingness to break physical and mental barriers. Traveling is not only a matter of leisure or a business matter every certain time. It is an essential need, an impulse that takes us further every time. there would be no civilization, no scientific advancements, as we have seen in these impressive screens, such as the ones that we are enjoying today. This wouldn't be possible with the travelers, with curious people that questioned everything, people who were willing to explore and to look ahead. If today we are what we are, this is thanks to this ability augment that travel provides. For all of that, tourism is a way of understanding the world. It is a way of understanding the world as an open space, a tolerant space, and a way to see reality that now it's threatened from many areas. We talk about walls, about identities and emerging nations. To my view, tourism is very important today because thanks to your work, to your companies, to your organizations such as this one, this way we can understand and explore the world as a place of meeting, as a place where great opportunities are born and not threats. Thanks to the tourism, the world is better known and better understood. And thanks to tourism, the world is a more peaceful and solidary world. Tourism and travel are therefore essential pillars for human advancement in material aspects as well as in symbol, and I dare to say in the intimate aspects as well. And it's also an essential aspect for progress. The human being explored, and that way the world advanced, and that is the aim of the World Travel and Tourism Council, and that's why we're here today. Nobody doubts today that this is our reason for being here. One of the biggest prides for a president of government is being the president of one of the most tolerant, open and diverse countries in the world. And I think this reality is owed that we are also that we are the first country in the world in tourism. 2018 is going to be the year remembered for breaking all records in tourism in terms of international visitors, almost 83 million visitors throughout last year, in terms of expenditure as well. But what is really significant about all these milestones is that they have been reached in a context of recovery and competitors in this sector. We have grown by our own merits. For Spain, 2019, this year, must be a year of consolidation in the touristic sector, a year where we can face other challenges, continuous innovation, opening new destinations, sustainability, and an offer that is less seasonable, which is undoubtedly always one of the first challenges of our touristic sector. Spain is a great country. Figures speak, but the opinions of our visitors also speak. What's more important, the visitors come back. Those who come repeat their experience, and this is due to its great geography, but not only because of sun hours, the light that we enjoy, especially in Andalusia, and not even the character of our people, open, tolerant, respectful. This comes by its constant ability to impress travelers. Please allow me to center my speech in those treasures, unknown treasures of Spain. So the rural Spain, gastronomy, everything that is beyond the offer of sun at beaches, which is, of course, essential and must be discovered by our visitors. But today, I want to speak specifically about this amazing part of Spain that wants to be open to the world. We have a great potential of growth in rural tourism. And I am convinced that we will be up to the challenge, not only because of its attractive, because this sector is a great opportunity to fight against one of the challenges in our country, which is repopulation. Ladies and gentlemen, the world has greatly changed in the last years, and it's still changing. We have seen a good example of what the tourism sector will be in a few years. So it speaks about its ability to adapt, to its ability of adapt to these changes depends on leadership. This industry needs to analyze well the reality, it needs to adapt and to find the opportunities that any area of transformation brings about. Spain is one of the countries in the head to mitigation and adaptation to climate change. We are exposed to this terrible threat to the world, and therefore we are one of the most engaged countries with this challenge, against this challenge. So, in compliance with the Agenda 2030, and this engagement also means the ecological transition of our economy, and which is a real necessity. And there are great opportunities for the future in the future 10 years, where we're going to mobilize great economical resources, public and private. More than 3 million people, ladies and gentlemen, work thanks to the tourism sector. This figure must make us think about the need to promote sustainable tourism, not only from the point of view of the environment, obviously, but also from the cultural and social points of view. We have great allies, artificial intelligence, big data, as it's been stated here today, also to improve our working sector and to fight against growing inequalities, social and gender inequalities. That's why the public sector must be a coordinator of our countries to fight against false statements. Some people say that you could be either efficient or sustainable, but it's you who are going to show that this is not like this, that being sustainable is the only way of being efficient, and that social cohesion feeds trust in yourself and trust in other people. And it enforces willingness to travel, willingness to use our companies and our services. At the beginning of my speech, ladies and gentlemen, I spoke about the leadership position of Spain in this industry, and I would like to thank that you have always placed a positive bet for Spain for more than 40 years, so thank you. I am convinced that part of the success of our tourism industry is also due to the strong institutions of a country that has known how to build a solid welfare in the last decades. Investing in security, as this country and this society does, it means investing in tourism. Investing in infrastructure is investing in tourism, also in hospitals. Everything is included in this country that is hosting you today. Ladies and gentlemen, your role in the world is crucial. You represent a way of understanding and a way of looking at the world that is being questioned today. You believe in open societies. You believe in tolerance, diversity, mutual respect. You bet for bringing together different stakeholders and for curiosity towards foreign cultures. We need you more now than ever. Society needs you more than ever to eliminate mistrust, to widen horizons, and not to build walls and create new borders. Thank you. Welcome to Seville. Welcome to Andalucía. Welcome to Spain.
Señores, el presidente del Gobierno de España, Pedro Sánchez. Ahora démosle la bienvenida al escenario al presidente de la Cumbre Mundial del Turismo, Krishna Seta, y a la directora ejecutiva, Gloria Guevara, para otorgar al señor presidente un reconocimiento por su apoyo a esta cumbre y por su contribución al turismo.
This is an acknowledgement for the President of Spain for his leadership and support. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the stage